Morning. It's the final day, just a short one, hopefully. So I need to do 15.2 miles. I think from here to Maggie's route I picked about 16, so it covers off any other little bits. It's been a long week. Yesterday morning especially, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to finish this. It was absolute killer. So hopefully this morning won't be that bad. I've got the speaker in the bag, so just going to blast some tunes along the way. Probably have a bit of a sing-song, and then yeah, it's meant to stay dry. So fingers crossed we won't need poncho cloth again, because that Monday was awful. But yeah, I suppose we better get going now. I'll see you in a bit. Oh, final time through the park. So I've got the speaker in the hood of my bag. Just been blasting that, having a bit of a sing-song, safe in the knowledge that I don't have to do this again. So it doesn't matter where I skate today, I don't have to skate back. And just that little psychological change makes so much difference. I know it's a shorter day as well, but the fact I don't have to do it on the way back as well is lush. Today's random song is Three Little Birds by Bob Marley. So I'm going to go back singing that. Oh, it's a shame the music cuts out every time I record a video, but not to worry. I just thought I'd share a little story because try and do it sideways because of the sound. So yesterday was obviously really hard, and in the family group chat it was my auntie Karen had said it was probably about this time where your mum would have said, "That's enough now, son," and she would have finished it for me because that's just what she did. Like, she could make your life easier. And it reminded me of the first house I visited on Monday, the one that my nana lived up the street. I had a paper round on that estate, and all of the papers were on that estate bar two, and they were miles away. Like, one was up towards the seafront, and then one was in a different direction towards somewhere else. So every time I'd get my papers and the route would take me past my house, I'd drop those two papers in and my mum would go and drop them off in the car just to save me the bother. It was just those little things that, because she knew you were kind of working hard. I was getting up at like 5 in the morning to do these papers and stuff, and then going to school. So anything she could do just to make it easier, she would do. There was a story I just totally forgot about, and then obviously if there was any reason why I couldn't do them, she would go and do them for me, so I didn't miss out on the money. She was an absolute star, man. So heading down the coast, they're all lying down. I hope that doesn't, that's not a sign for later, but 3.5 miles in. I don't fancy his job. So he's trying to pull the plug out. So I'm outside the Delaval Arms, just about to go down the horrible road with all the buzzy things. But on the way up the bank, I just put a random playlist on, and All I Need Is a Miracle by Mike and the Mechanics came on. Immediately just makes me think of me mum. I'd never heard of Mike and the Mechanics, never, obviously didn't listen to when I was younger and stuff, but my mum had the album on in the car quite a bit, so that was quite nice. But it made me remember another story when we lived at the first house. The car got broken into, and off the top of my head it was a sky blue. I'm sure it was I can't remember, Citroen something or other, like a longish thing, and the car got broken into. But before that, she'd kind of started going to church and following a little bit of religion and stuff like that, which came in, like, was a little bit more prevalent towards the end as well. But she used to have these tapes in the car, right? And they were hymns, so like the stuff you'd sing in church. She had a cassette that she played in the car, and the people that broke into the car stole the cassette. I've never been more happy to have something stolen. Obviously she was gutted because she hated it when, like you would, when things got broken into or people taking stuff that wasn't theirs and stuff like that. But honestly, that tape going was unreal. Every morning, it's, the Lord is my shepherd and all that hardly gets you up for school, does it? But I'll never forget that. It's like secretly being the car got broken into, but also on the sly being a little bit smug that they'd pinched the Bible hymns. So we've got 5.38 miles in, so it's about 16 today, so we're about a third of the way through, which is good. Off down the bank, and then there isn't really any places to stop here today, so because we're going to Maggie's. This is what it's all for. So just gonna get the tunes, keep the tunes going, get the Maggie's. I'll probably stop like little bits on the way when I remember little stories and stuff like that. Yeah, we're nearly done. So we're coming up, but nearly 7.5 miles in. We're outside Waves in Whitley Bay. This isn't like not a major memory for me, but it was for the kids. So whenever she wanted to have the kids, if the park was off, like because of the weather or whatever, there's a couple of times she brought them here, and I hated swimming, hated getting wet, like with a passion. And she definitely handed it down because I'm the same. I don't like swimming. I swim like a dog, like head above water, like not my thing at all. But she used to ask, "Oh, like, can I take the kids swimming?" Blah blah, and then it would kind of develop into, "Why don't you come and watch and just have a cup of tea, and I'll take them in?" And then it would develop into, "You might as well just bring your stuff." And before I know it, I'm going down all the slides and all that sort of stuff, and absolutely soaking wet. She just had ways of convincing you to do something without you actually realising you were being convinced to do it. She was good at that. And then she would admit she could convince you to do something, but then also make it sound like you'd believe it was your own idea. It was good. So we're gonna swing by up and go through, like, I think it's taking me up like Ersden Way and all that sort of stuff. But another thing, I've just been riding down, obviously the music's been going, and I was getting like two kind of like teenage girls like looking at us like I was strange. I mean, I'm dressed in bright orange, so that's a start. And being a grown man riding a skateboard is probably another reason. And then they kind of kept like squinting, like looking like that, like, what's the matter with him? And then I realised 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton's blaring at my backpack. So, safe to say I probably looked cooler. But who cares? And then Come On Eileen came on after that. And that reminds me of like so many family parties and stuff when you've got that social club and all that. That would always get played. But it also reminds me of a time when I was at uni, which then made this memory pop up in my head, where every November my mum and my aunties would come down and do a bit of Christmas shopping. So I'd love it because it meant I'd get fed. And it was actual food, not pot noodles or Space Raiders or dry pasta with cheese on. So she'd come down and they'd stay at a little guest house along the road from my street. And she rang me, she's like, "Can we come to yours?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" Like, "We've been kicked out." They got kicked out of the guest house because they complained about the breakfast. Now, as I mentioned with the whole Christmas dinner and Sunday dinner thing, dinners have to be scad and hot. So she kept sending this breakfast back. enough times to get it heated up that the man just said, "I just go and click them out." That was always one we used to kind of look back on. It was always nice every November when she used to come down with me out, go for a bit of lunch and stuff. And I remember I was never allowed out until she'd kind of come into the flat and fully cleaned it to her standard, not mine. So we'd try and clean up because I was starving. She's like, "No, go on, let's have a tidy up." So that was it. She had to wait a good couple of hours before you got fed, but it was always lush when she used to come down and visit. Or just come down and pick me up when I got chicken pox, just cause. So you might as well be in your own bed rather than one there. So all right, nearly halfway. Let's get cracking. Hopefully this cycle path goes on for quite a while. Just taken over 10 miles now. So we should be the last hour. I never thought I'd see this bit. Quick break. It's like Tintin, what's that about? So 5 miles to go, less than an hour. I'll have a quick drink and then plough on because there's a bit of a hill coming. I mentioned earlier about the mum and religion and stuff like that, and she always carried a prayer card, and it was a prayer card of St. Jude, who is the patron saint of hopeless cases and lost causes. I think I've got that right. It's pretty much that anyway. She always had a prayer card like in the car or in a purse or handbag or whatever it was. And then so at a funeral it comes with a prayer, and the prayer is called "Don't Quit." I'm sure like everybody's felt a bit low, a bit depressed. There's nothing wrong with it. You do feel a bit hopeless at times. And I think she's obviously had times like that. Like some days were tough, sometimes were tough, but equally she said herself, she had a lovely life. So towards the end, obviously, when we were in hospital for a week at the Freeman, and she held this prayer card in her hand. So it obviously just gave her a bit of comfort. So if anybody is that watches and does feel a bit down and stuff, looking up, it might just be that kind of little thing to read just to keep you going, and especially when you're going through like grief and losing somebody or stuff like that and stresses in your life, it might just be that thing that just keeps you going. For me, it was the reason why I got, where is it? So that's St. Jude on my leg, underneath the words "Don't Quit." Kind of a constant reminder of my mum. So she's with me wherever I go. I have that, and I wear a wedding ring that she left me. They go with me wherever I go now. So she's always with me, and I've got those little reminders as well that when things do get tough, just keep going because it does get easier. So quick last drink and we'll get going. Getting closer. And this is what happens when you don't quite fully plan the route. It's like skateboarding on a cat litter train. It's a bit hard work. Starting to rain. Just that drizzly stuff, but never mind. Yak. Just a quick one. So we've gone past, so I went out this morning, it was 15.18 miles we needed to hit the target. Pardon me. Officially 168 miles on a skateboard. But still got less than a mile to get to Maggie's. It doesn't stop till we get to Maggie's, so I'm gonna plough and we had to do a little detour because it's trying to take me through the countryside, so we had to come up through Newcastle United Academy, and then yeah, so we're doing a slight detour, but we'll still be like done in 15-20 minutes or so. We're so close. Last push in the rain. Third of a mile left. This is it. Maggie's around the corner. Yeah. We're done. That's it. All done. 168 miles on a skateboard. Nearly £1,500 raised so far, which is phenomenal. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Thank you for all the messages of support, all the comments, sharing the videos, all of that sort of stuff. I'm in one of the rooms at the Maggie Centre in Newcastle. I'll flick you around. So this is kind of just one of the spaces that they have, that they do like group sessions and stuff like that in here. Just a really, really nice homely place where if you need help or you just need somewhere to be, just a change of scenery away from the hospital or whatever else, you can come here, and the lady just said before, it should feel like your best friend's house. And it does, and that's where the money's going towards. So thank you all for the money that we've raised so far. It's phenomenal. Special thank you to everybody that came up today to say hello and has kind of met me along the way. So Sarah, the kids, Scott, Summer and Ellie, John, Cam, Logan, the dogs, Jess and Maggie, who's named after a Rod Stewart song, and this place, so Maggie May and the Maggie Centre. And she's got a little orange collar, which is this colour. But that's it. Don't know what to do on tomorrow. Might go for a skate.